There's a great performance against Atletico. But one could argue that there was no pressure on the game because of the scoreline. There's going to be a lot of pressure in this match. How do you think it's going to happen?
No, it was a pressure. Who said it was not a pressure? It was a pressure because they wanted to pass. So different kind of pressure, yes, but if there is no pressure, there is pressure even in the training every day. So this is part of the life. So I believe the most important was what I said before. For the Sunday, in this moment, was necessary to have this kind of performance, to give them what they missed until now. This confidence that we have this game and that we do what we want to do on Sunday. So
you said that there's no advantage from Forest playing last night.
No.
But they are still in Europe, and whilst Tottenham Hotspur here, there's going to be extra games.
Yeah.
How much would you be fine with, or even hope that they could go all the way in Europe to cram up their fixture list?
I didn't understand this last part.
How much would you be happy with Nottingham Forest going all the way
Of course.
Europe, so they would have more games?
Of course, I'll be happy. And this is normal thing. This took energy, and for sure, is help for other teams. But sometimes, even going up in a European competition gives something else, gives some confidence, some energy. So sometimes it's not always they took away from you, especially when you have two squads, like two players, two teams. If you don't have injury, it can be advantage, or even to pass this thing around, because it gives some specially energy in dressing room.
Vicario's not in the Italy school. You said the other day about you can either cry about things or you can react in a good way. Does he have that mentality that will show that he will respond in a similar way to this?
Yeah, of course. Or he make one very good save in an important part of the game that I saw him in progress. He's rising. I see him better and better.
And just lastly, at Liverpool, there was the moment with the player liaison officer, Dixon.
Yeah.
And we saw it again against Atletico Madrid. First of all, to clear up, did you think it was Arne Slot the first time? And secondly, do you feel from now on, every day, as soon as you haven't lost since those games, that
I didn't. No, now we start with this time we make on purpose, because what happened? My son, who is 20 years old, said in Croatia everybody laughing with you because you did this mistake. I said, what mistake? No. I said to him, do you know who is the guy? No, I don't know. And I said, it's Alan Dixon. I'm spending with him all days together. So I come out and he stand in the front of my bench. So what other coach can be there in front of? It's my zone, training zone. He was there. I come into him to make a joke. If you understand, I come from this side, I touch him, and go other side. And when he turned, I was not surprised. I was laughing there. So and especially, I can imagine in Croatia, because maybe they don't know who is Alan Dixon, but in England they know that I don't recognize the guy who I spent every day 10 hours. So I come out and I don't know, it was like a little bit ridiculous. Now we did on purpose to make a joke, because now from now on I call him Arne. It's not anymore Alan, it's Arne. But this is how it's worked. This 2026, it's about news, we went to have fun too. It's part of the world of today, but sometimes it's really ridiculous, and not, I cannot understand this. But you need to invent some news, You know better than me. You are that part of this discussion,
But just lastly, is there any chance it will continue? No, not this game.
We will see that. Okay.
Can I also just go back to Richarlison? I was wondering if I could get a bit of an insight into what he gives you in a tactical sense, kind of playing up front. Does he allow you to go more direct? Does he offer a different dynamic?
Yeah, I think he's a player who can give most of him in central position. Even his pass was playing on the sides. but I believe that more close to the box, he's better he's.
And in a psychological sense, Richarlison, he seems someone that really plays with emotion and really connects with the fans. Just how important can those qualities be as well?
Yeah, because he's a good guy and care. I didn't know him from outside. With his tattoo and everything, he can be like, but really amazing guy, very calm, very caring of the squad. Very willing to help the teammates. Always very generous the way he play. So happy to have him.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.